Yes, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next session of Obina. And today's topic of discussion is about organizational culture and organizational effectiveness. So we'll start the class within few minutes of time. Let's everyone join in first. And we'll start with the first topic, that is organizational culture.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening. So let me share my screen with you. So in the last topic, I think, which we have discussed, that was OD process, okay? And I hope so that topic is clear to everyone. We have discussed that last topic in the class, okay? So today we will discuss two topics, that is organizational culture and organizational effectiveness. So let me share my screen with you. Yes, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Yes, student, is it clear? Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So when we discuss about this particular topic, organization culture, first of all, we need to discuss what do you mean by culture? Okay. What do you mean by culture, first of all? How we can define culture?
Sir, it's the background values.
Yes, background values, basic values. A person must know how to behave in society, how to behave in public, how to behave in the organization, and they need to keep in mind about these basic assumptions whenever they are actually meeting with the external environment. Okay, whether it's a family, whether it's a society, whether it's, you could say, a public function, whether it's an organization. So at each and every place, a particular person may need to understand, may need to keep in mind about the basic assumptions of the particular culture. Okay, now when we discuss about the organization culture, the similar definition we will just go for, that it is nothing but the basic values which a particular company must have, and on those values only the company always operates, and they always consider that what is important for the company when it's come to their priorities. Okay, so in a simple language, if we can say that it is set of values which guides the company, which guides an organization how to organization, number one, what an organization stands for, what an organization stands for. Second one, how it operates. And third part we have, that is about what is considered important. Okay, so just the basic, you could say, fundamental understanding about what this particular organization is believe in. Okay, so when we discuss about this particular culture and the value, okay, so culture nothing but simply the basic assumption which the organization must possess, and these organization, this culture basically always define that what is the purpose behind organization stands for, means what are the values which they are offering, first of all, how it operates in society, and what is considered most important in the organization. So that three basic fundamental, you could say, question, three basic fundamental rules which always guides a company, which always guides an individual, how to operate in the organization. Okay. When we talk about some other definition of this particular, you could say, organization culture, we can say that it is set of informal rules. It is set of informal rules, and as we know that the culture of each and every company always differ. Okay, it is set of informal rules that spells out how people have to behave, most of the time. Means what are the basic functionality, what are the basic parameters which they need to keep in mind when we talk about the organizational culture. Okay, it is basic assumption, as I told you already. One more definition: it is basic assumption that a given group has invented, discovered, and developed. I'll give an example for that. While learning to cope with its problems of external adaptations and integral integration. Now, when we discuss about this particular last definition, okay, in this case, you can see that it is a basic assumption that the group has invested. Group means the company, the management of the organization, how a particular, you could say, person in the organization must have to behave. The rules, regulation, policy, guidelines, blueprint designed by the top management or the manager of the company, that is a given group has invented, discovered, and developed while learning to cope with its problem of external adaptation and integral integration. Means how the company can actually being operate when it's come to their external world. Each and everything will be learned with the help of the organizational culture. Is it clear, please, everyone? What is the basic fundamental definition? Because the company may focus on the customer loyalty, adulteration practices, how we can overcome that, how we can actually reduce the wastage when it's come to the environmental aspect. So each and every company having their own level of, you could say, fundamental culture, fundamental values, and on that values only the company always actually works on. Is it clear, please, everyone, these definitions?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One more important aspect about this particular organization culture, because organizational culture is basically not written anywhere. It is basically something like for example, if you're working in Tata, if you're working in Accenture, if you're working in, you could say, IIMs, if you're working in IITs, each and every company having its own culture, and these cultures basically influence the employee of the organization. Okay, and these are not basically written set of values. These are simply nothing but a common, you could say, parameter which each and every individual must have to follow in the organization. So in a simple language, if you can say that it is a profound influence, on individual employee. Because when you know that, like when we're working in a particular company and whenever we switch our job, each and every job or each and every organization having their own value, on set of rules and regulation, and this is a basically influence on individual employees because it is generally an accepted set of values rather than a written set of rules. Because as I told you already, these are the basic assumptions which we need to keep in mind. Set of rules with which employees might not argue. Argument basically because it is not written rules. These are the common parameters, common understanding, common, you could say, you could say perspective, which each and every individual must need to keep in mind whenever they are working in the organization. Clear, I think, everyone? Yes, students, please kindly confirm. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So we will actually, in a nutshell, or you could say, if we just actually just define all the definition, it is nothing but simply acceptable and unacceptable behavior of its members. Acceptable and unacceptable behavior of its members, or you could say employee. You can see that when you visit a particular hotel as well. Okay, you always will find the different way how they hospitalize, how they greet the customer. Okay, and this is basically culture is all about. Like whenever you visit a country as well, like you visit India, visit, you could say even the US, you will visit UK, or even any other Asian country. Each and every country having its own culture, and that culture is most important, that it should be on the basis of the values of that particular country, on the basis of that particular organization, or we can say on that particular individual as well. So in nutshell, is nothing but it is acceptable and unacceptable behavior of its members. Clear?
So please display the last slide, sir. I am
Sure, ma'am. Definitely. Yeah.
yes, sir. I have seen it.
Done, I think. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in the next topic, we have the importance of organization culture. And today we'll discuss a case study on this particular topic, ODN culture as well. Okay. So the first advantage of culture, that is about communication of the information about acceptable and unacceptable behavior. It's a very simple topic. Okay. Communication about acceptable and unacceptable behavior. As I told you already, unacceptable behavior. Second one, if you talk about the culture, is actually goes more about, you could say, the decision making, or you could say the manager always try to communicate, because if we talk about a particular part, that the culture communicates, whether an organization is basically aggressive or conservative in a decision making. The culture communicates whether the organization expects manager to be aggressive or conservative in decision making. Okay, very simple, I think, rules that. Okay, or also we can add that like conservative, or we can say conservative or aggressive. Even we can go for, you could say, generous, or opposite of generous is moderate, I think. Moderate in supporting social causes. Okay, or we can say that kind, or opposite of kind is ruthless. Okay, kind or ruthless when it's come to in competitive dealing or competitive trade between two parties. So basically, like, culture will always actually communicate all these important parameters, all these important factors to their employees. Okay. Now, the importance of culture is very, again, the important part is that culture should be, or culture must be, I think so. Culture must be clear, strong, and well defined. It should not be ambiguous. What else we can say? Ambiguous, or weak, or we can say poor, or poorly defined, I think better word, poorly defined cultures. Okay, this is a very third definition or third aspect of importance of the culture. Then we talk about, you could say, other aspect of this particular organization culture, because as we know that the cultures always define the you could say the image in the mind of the customer, in the mind of the public as well. Okay, so when we discuss about this culture, culture basically always, you could say, are deeply influenced by organizational founders. It is deeply influenced by founder or the owner of the company, influenced by founder of an organization. Because of their foundation, because of their, you could say, initiation, they have started a company, they have started a business, and that is and that business basically having certain values, which is completely being, you could say, in communicated with the help of cultures only, and what they have actually imbibed in the organization. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the culture, is not about only values. So cultures or culture, I think, culture may include various symbols. We talk about stories, like stories of Tata, stories of, you could say, Bill Gates, story of Ambani. These are basically the culture, how they are actually imbibing the companies. Okay. We talk about heroes, slogans, and ceremonies. Etc. These are actually also the part of the culture of any organization. Clear? Last point, I think, which comes under organization culture, it is a set of characteristics, right word, yes. Set of characteristics and factors perceived by employees of an organization. Perceived by employees of an organization. Clear? So this is all about the culture. It's a very simple topic actually. And we are done with this organization culture. What does it mean, first of all, and this importance of organization culture?
So symbol here, what means culture and various symbols?
Symbol is basically like the image. Symbol is like, for example, like if you talk about any company and the symbol, or you could say brand or
So
recognition.
brand equity.
Yes, brand equity. Yes, definitely.
Yes,
Okay, like when I think you find so many companies, they are actually creating their symbol or their logo on the basis of certain ethical values, or you could say cultural values. So that again defines the culture of a company, that how grounded, how you could say associated that company is with the nature, or with the, you could say, society, or you could say the welfare of the individual in the organization. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yes, clear.
Yeah, sure. So shall we start with the next topic now? Organizational effectiveness, the next topic. Yes, students, shall we start? The next topic now, if it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next topic we have, that is called organizational effectiveness. Okay. Now, what do you mean by effectiveness? First of all, how you can define what is effective, what is not effective. Hanji, anyone? What is effectiveness? Because there is a, you could say, a very confused words like effectiveness and efficiency. Okay. What is effectiveness? What is
So
efficiency?
effectiveness is
Yes.
sir, effectiveness is response for any behavior, and efficiency is capacity of working, sir.
So maybe we can say efficiency is internal and effectiveness is external.
Yes, sir. It can
Okay.
also be said.
So first of all, always remember when we discuss
Yes,
about
sir.
the organizational effectiveness, it is basically nothing but, like, for example, if I'm talking about a company and I'm saying that that company is effective or not, how I can determine that? Whether the company is able to achieve their objectives with the given amount of resources, and you could say given amount of, you could say, parameters which is available, and whether they have achieved all those objectives within those limitation or within those resources or not. That is called effectiveness. If so, the company is effective. If not, the company is not effective. Okay. So in a simple language, we can say that it is an extent. We'll discuss deficiency and effective difference as well. Okay. It is an extent to which an organization achieves its predetermined objectives, predetermined objectives with the given amount of resources and means without placing undue strain on its members. Means very easily, very easygoing, a particular company may able to achieve their targets within of you could say within this stipulated period of time. Okay. Now when we discuss about this particular term effectiveness, okay, efficiency and effectiveness, as we can see that there are two major important terms is synonymously which is being used by the organization. Okay. So effectiveness and efficiency are two most important terms for development of an organization. The difference between these two are as follows. Okay. Okay. Now we'll discuss about difference between effectiveness and efficiency first, and then we'll move further. Okay. The first difference, if we talk about, like as we discussed with the Poonam right now, that it is basically more about internal, and second is more about, you could say, external. Okay. So first of all, always try to understand that effectiveness is basically more a broader concept as compared to efficiency. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the first and foremost type about what is effectiveness, so organization effectiveness, I'm talking in OE right now. Organization effectiveness is degree to which predetermined goals are achieved. Okay. Second point, if you talk about while organizational efficiency that pertains to internal working of the company, related to internal working of a company or organization, I think, far better word. Clear? So the very first difference, that is internal and the external. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the the organizational effectiveness, if you're talking right now, it is concentrate more on the human side of the organization. Okay. So OE concentrates more on human side of organizational values. Human side of organizational values. Okay. While organizational efficiency is more on the technological side of an organization. Focuses on technological side of an organization. Okay. Third point now. When we talk about the third point in this particular case, the effectiveness is basically, you can say, it's not a simple concept as I told you already. But when we talk about any effectiveness of the organization, it's maybe, as I told you already, the organizational effectiveness is more about external, while organizational efficiency is more concerned on internal parameters. Okay, so that I think all about this particular difference between efficiency and the effectiveness. Now, make sure always a particular company may be efficient, but it doesn't mean that it may be effective always. Or we can say that a particular company may be maybe you could say effective, but doesn't mean that company would always be efficient as well. Okay, so that is a very basic difference, thin line difference between these two terms: organizational effectiveness and efficiency. Now, how the topic is organizational effectiveness, how we can improve organizational effectiveness. We have basically three methods or three approaches. Is this point clear, please, everyone? Organizational effectiveness and efficiency difference.
Yes, sir.
Now, next part we have, that is the approaches towards, or you could say approaches, how we can actually improve organizational effectiveness. Okay, so approaches to organizational effectiveness. Okay, so there are basically three approaches we have under this particular approach. That is, first is called goal approach, second is called functional approach, and third one is called system resources approach. Okay. Now we'll discuss one by one all these approaches. Now, when we discuss about the goal approach, what does it mean? Goal approach means. Yes, anyone? What may the goal
So
approach?
what are the whatever the goals or objective which have been set by the organization should be achieved in the period of time which has been determined.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So what goals a company can set? It may be quality. It may be productivity. Because company may set any goal, depends on their values, depends on their culture. Okay. So it may be quality. Maybe we can say the productivity. We talk about efficiency as well. We talk about profits. Because there are basic variables which a company always focuses on. Profits. We talk about turnover. Then we can say about morale. We talk about motivation. So many things which come under values of the company, which may be satisfaction as well. I think we can include in this, etc. So these are the basic goal approach, that what are the basic target of the company now to achieve, whether it's efficiency, whether it is turnover, whether it is profit, whether it is satisfaction, whether it is ethical values. Each and everything will come under goal approach or goal values. Okay, everyone. And one more important line over here, that the goal must be real, not ideal. And there should be some practical approach which the company has to keep in mind. Okay, so goal must be real, not ideal. Ideal means which we cannot achieve under even any standard conditions as well. Clear, everyone? First point is clear. Goal approach. Yes, students, please kindly confirm goal approach is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we come to functional approach. Functional approach basically is all about like which particular domain you want to target, which particular domain you want to actually keep in mind whenever you are actually establishing the company. It may be society, it may be environment. Okay. It may be, you could say, what else we can include? Functional approach, society as large. We can talk about environment. We talk about employment. We talk about growth. Okay. Now growth won't come actually. Growth will be all about goal approach actually. So society, environment, employment. That is for a particular public we're talking right now. Okay. That is talk about, you could say, women's safety. Okay. What else we can include under functional approach? Women's safety, society, environment, employment, pollution, or you could say environment. I think cover everything when it's come to pollution, when it's come to degradation, natural resources. Okay, everything will come under this category. Natural resources we can include separately, I think so. Natural resources, etc. So means we are talking about a particular functional area which the company always targets.
So philanthropy is also,
Pardon?
so CSR and philanthropy will also come in under this.
Yes, definitely. Well, basically, we are focusing on a set of people, a particular area domain which the company always targets.
Okay.
Yes. Next one is system resource approach. What does it mean? System resource means it is simple. I'll tell you. Relationship between what we can say, between organization and its environment. Or we can write down, I think so, interdependency between, better would be the word, I think, as compared to relation. That is interdependency. interdependency between organization and the environment. What is interdependency? Means what the company's functioning, first of all, that is system, and what are the resources which they are looking after from the environment. Okay, so relationship between these two is basically nothing but input and output. Input from environment, output by the company. But output should always be environment friendly. Okay, so it always includes physical, you could say economical, or even the human resources, which what the company is using and what or the output which the company is providing to the environment. So that is all about your system resource approach. System means company, resource means the natural resource, human resource, or even the physical resources. Clear? Yes, student, please kindly confirm.
Yes, it's clear.
Perfect. Have you noted down as well, I think? Shall we move to the next topic then? Factor affecting organizational effectiveness. Shall we move, I think, if it is done?
Okay, sir.
So the next topic is factors affecting organizational effectiveness. So there are basic three factors as per the Likert, actually I'm not going to discuss right now, which actually define the organizational effectiveness. The first one is called casual variable. Second one is called intervening variable. And next one is end result. Okay. So first of all, when we discuss about what do you mean by casual variable, first of all, what do you mean by casual variable which directly affect the company's, you could say, effectiveness?
Casual variable may be in form of a competitive company.
Yes, yes. See, casual variable basically is all about, like when we talk about, you could say independent variable. Sorry. Now, what about independent variable? Means, like for example, if we talk about a particular manager in the company, and manager is basically free to take any decision by their own. So he is basically functioning on the casual variable because he has a complete right on his leadership to take any decision in the company. So casual variable, nothing but independent variable in the form of policies, decisions, leadership. I think we can include in this as well. Leadership, strategies, what else? Skills, etc. Okay. So these are the basic, you could say, variable. Which what is the meaning of this variable? Because manager having the free hand to take this particular variable in consideration and can actually work accordingly. That is called the casual variables. Clear, I think?
Yes, sir.
Intervening variable is basically nothing but these are, you could say, internal parameters which define health and state of an organization. Okay. Now these factors are, for example, if we can talk about like we talk about, you could say loyalties, we talk about attitude, motivation, then perception, I think we can also include in this, etc. So intermediate is nothing but basically all the internal parameters which define the tone of a company. Tone of the company in terms of their perception, their loyalty, their ethical value, their motivation, their perception. You could say you could say a ground understanding, or you could say the grounded approach towards the benefiting to the employees or benefiting to the public. That is again the intervening variable, which are actually defining the decision making and you could say the effective interaction among all the employees of the organization, and that define the tone, that define the, you could say, the parameter of any organization. Okay. Next one we have, that is called the end results. Okay. End result, as we can see that whenever we talk about the end result which related to productivity, because this that will define the performance of the company: productivity, cost, loss, and earnings. Clear, I think so, student? Everyone, I'll just show you one diagram actually for this particular topic, the comparison between all these variables. Just a minute, please. One minute, please. So you can see my screen again, I think. 1 minute, please. Yes. So the basic comparison between these three variables. Casual variable is basically more about, as I told you already, that is independent. Intervening is internal parameter and health, and net result is all about the performance evaluation. Please note on this point, I think. It's a comparison between the major variables which comes under this particular categories. Yes, we're done, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So one more topic we have, that is organizational design. We are starting in a break of 10 minutes. The last topic for the day. and then we'll discuss one case study. And tomorrow we have a topic of organizational change, and yes, I think because change is a very, very big topic, so that I'll start from tomorrow only. Yeah, definitely. So organizational change and resistance, that we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. And organizational design is a very simple topic. We have again one more topic for the day. So that will cover up after a short break now. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So we will get back to you at 5:55 sharp. Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, so let's start the next topic now. That is organizational design. Okay. So the next topic, and then we'll discuss about one case study. Okay. So organizational design is the next topic and the small topic we have. Now, when we discuss about the design of a company, design of any organization, it is nothing but the overall structural configuration of the company when it's come to jobs, when it's come to hierarchy, when it's come to pattern of authorities, and when it comes to coordination and line staff management of any organization. So overall, we can say that it is overall configuration of structural components that defines jobs in the company. You could say grouping of jobs. It means in the group or the team, grouping of jobs. We talk about the hierarchy. We can talk about pattern of authority. Sorry, pattern of authority. Coordination. Line and staff management means how the responsibility is being delegated. Etc. So it's a very simple fundamental about the basic structure of the organization when it's come to line and staff, when it's come to employees of the company, and how they are actually associated or correlated with each other. Okay. Now we talk about the basic determinants. Okay. The determinants of organizational design. Okay. Now these determinants may include, if we talk about the point number 1, technology. Okay. We can talk about, you could say, environment. Okay. We can talk about, you could say, organizational size, the number of employees working in the company. And we can also talk about organizational life cycle as well. According to that, the organizational design may be different. Okay. So basic 4 determinant when it comes to organizational, you could say design, it includes technology which they are using, the environment in which they are working or what type of influence which they have on the environment, the size of the company, and this life cycle of the organization. So that is basically all about the design and its determinants on the which factor the design of the company always depends. Is it clear, please, everyone?
Sir, in the fourth point.
Organizational life cycle.
Yes, sir. What is this organization life cycle?
See, it is basically all about, like, when we talk about the maturity of a company, you know the life cycle 4 stages: introduction, growth, maturity, decline.
Yes.
At what stage
Yes,
the
sir.
organization exists right now? Whether it is in the introduction, so definitely your design of the company would be different. Limited employees, less expenses, focus on more profit. The company is on growth stage, the strategy would be different. Maturity, strategy would be different. Decline, it would be different. So according to that, the design of the company and the structure of the company may differ.
Yeah, it is similar to product life cycle. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So because I have studied about the product life cycle, not organization.
No, it is similar actually. Wordings are different.
Okay,
Like it is like all about the introduction, the prosperity, maturity, decline, revival. Each and everything will come in this.
So the determinants will be different in relation to product.
Yes, yes. Product and the structure of the company.
Okay.
Yes, clear?
is clear.
Yes, yes, perfect. So now the next topic we have, that is organizational change. It is altogether very different and a very lengthy topic. So that will start from tomorrow. We'll discuss one case study now related to organizational culture and development. Okay. So let me share my screen again with you for the case study. Because yesterday we didn't discuss one case study on culture and development. Today we'll go for that. Okay. Just a minute, please. Organization culture we'll discuss. Okay. 1 minute. Yes. So first case is all about bankrupt culture. The first case study we'll discuss now. Okay. Let me share my screen and we'll discuss this case study. Is it visible now, everyone? The bankrupt culture.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, yes, yes. So just have a look off for 10 minutes and we'll discuss one by one all these topics. Okay. We'll discuss the base of the case, what the cultural influence which we have in this particular case study. Okay. Just go through with it, please. We'll get back to you. Yes, done, Miss Poonam. Okay, we're waiting for this to complete as well. Okay. Yes, done. Jagriti, I think. Yes, good. Jagriti and Poonam. Okay. Waiting for this to complete as well. Because this case study is more about like how the top management has actually selected their boss who is actually more involved in the sexual, you could say, counterpart, or you could say sexual activities in the company, and how that particular approach or the mindset of Mr. Michael has disturbed the company, and company is still actually under severe loss. You can see that in the last paragraph. Okay, we'll wait, I think, for this to complete as well. Just wait for 2 minutes. Mr. Anuj, Kaushik, Shabana, waiting for you to complete, please. Shabana, complete. Good. Mr. Anuj, done. Kaushik. Okay, so I think let's start with this particular case. Anyone who can explain this, because what is the mistake which is being done, committed by the top management by hiring the Michael as a CEO of the company, and even though the company was actually under severe bankruptcy, after the effect of that bankruptcy is basically even the company continued to operate in bankruptcy, and even more than 5,000 employees have lost their job because of this particular issue. Okay, anyone, please, who can brief this?
So what to read, sir?
Is it clear, please, this case study?
Yes, sir. The case is clear that the organization culture which was meant by the CEO is very bad. So he is not bothering for the woman respect or anything, and anything should not be anything he is should not be leaked out from the company. It should be inside the company, and as a result, the company was bankrupt.
Yes, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Okay. So like when we discuss about this particular case, it's simple, nothing but how the culture is basically defined by the top management. And even the top management is not taking the right decision in the company. Like the same case of Michael, who was actually involved in the sexual activities in the organization, and he's harassing the women in the organization. In such a case, basically, these organizations basically are always, you could say, always would be under bankruptcy, and there won't be any, you could say, change like how the company was at 2007, and continuously the company is working in the bankruptcy because of such issues. Is it clear, please, everyone?
Whistle blowing will be the answer.
Pardon?
So for last question, answer, whistle blowing will be the answer.
How can you determine when a line has been crossed between a fun and informal culture, one that is offensive and inappropriate? See, basically, like when we discuss about the line which has been crossed between fun and informal culture, okay, somehow when we talk about this particular culture which is imbibed by Michael, it is more offensive. It is not inappropriate, first of all, okay, because somehow if the harassment of the women is there, if the harassment of women is there, and how the company is basically, you could say, approaching all those employees in the company. In such a case, it's very important that the company should follow informal culture, but it should not be offensive and inappropriate.
Yes, sir.
Basically, sir, top management is the very much not sincere about that for the culture. I think so.
Yes, yes, definitely.
This is depending on the top management.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Because they not seen the how where the companies goes, but he's thinking the own. I think so. I know.
Yes, yes.
So the lines are up and down for this page. So the lines are not clear.
Which line, ma'am?
So the page where you have displayed this case.
I didn't understand actually.
So the lines are going up and down.
Top
Yes, so now it is okay.
top one paragraph is not on. That's not clear.
Now it's clear, no? Yes, yes, yes. Sorry.
Yes,
Now
yes.
it's clear,
yes.
sir.
Clear, everyone? I think very simple case study on the base of culture. One more case study we'll discuss now. Okay.
Basically, this shows the top management is not sincere about the company, sir. I think so.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And even they are not actually going for ground study whenever they are hiring any
Hello?
CEO of the company.
And not at all the safety of the employees also. The top
Yes, yes.
management is, yes, they're not considered for the safety.
Safety, and they're not
Of
concerned about
employees.
the employees. They're not concerned
Yeah.
about the values. Okay. So I think, shall we move to the next case now? One more case study for the day. I think I'll do one
Yes,
thing.
sir.
Just forward this case study to on your mail. Okay. These mergers don't always lead to cultural crashes, and did Toyota cultures cause its problem? So these two case study, I'll just mail it to you on your email IDs. Will it be okay? I think. And from tomorrow we'll start the organizational change. I think so. Yes, it is clear. I think I will just mail these two case study now to you. These mergers don't always lead
Yes,
to
sir, yes,
cultural clashes, and did Toyota cultures cause its problems? Clear? 1 minute. I'm just sending this case studies to everyone. So from tomorrow, I think we'll start the organizational change, the next topic we have. Okay, because that is the last topic, change in the resistance, which we need to discuss now. 1 minute, please. I'm sharing those two case studies now on your WhatsApp group. Sorry, not WhatsApp group, on your mail. Okay. So I hope so you have received the last case, which was rise of extreme jobs till last cases. Okay. That everyone has received, I think so. Clear? So first case which I'm sharing with you, that is about the bankrupt culture. The first case study. And second one, we have mergers don't always. 1 minute, please. Okay, so bankrupt culture, I have copied it in this. The next case is all about the mergers, okay? And the second case is basically all about mergers don't always lead to cultural clashes, okay? Mergers don't always lead to culture clashes. Okay, so these two case studies, I'm just sending it to you. And I think email IDs are similar, I think, for all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Any new email ID we have to add, please? Yes, students, so I'm sending this case study now on your email IDs. Anyone else? I think the new student in the class right now? No, I hope so. Because the email ID which I have as of now, one minute, please. Yeah. Yes, email ID which I have is Poonam, Shabana, Raksha, Sharon, Jagriti, Kaushik, and Anuj. Okay, these email IDs I have with me. So I'll just text.
सर मेरा भी मेल आईडी सोनी का सर.
हाँ आपका भी है. Yes. Just a minute. Tony Kashyap. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. 1 minute. You will find the last two case studies on at the last of this particular page. Okay, is this file actually? Okay, students. So I have send that mail. You might will receive in few seconds. Okay. So any more query to anyone, please? I think I have sent the case studies. I hope so everyone received that. Yes, students.
सर
Yes,
मेरा
sir,
भी
received.
शो नहीं कर रहा है मेल.
So
Pardon?
received the case study.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we'll catch you tomorrow now with the next topic, organizational change. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.